attack Therizinosauridae, the strange scythe-clawed giants of the dinosaur world. Imagine stepping into a prehistoric forest 100 million years ago. Towering ferns rise like green pillars, ancient conifers stretch skyward, and the air hums with the distant calls of pterosaurs gliding above. Amid this lush, almost alien landscape, a shadow emerges, a creature unlike anything else that roamed the earth. Its neck is long and elegant, like that of a plant-eating sauropod. Its belly bulges like a grazing giant. Yet its arms, long, muscular, and crowned with scythe-shaped claws over a meter in length, are terrifying, almost nightmarish. This is not a predator, at least not in the way you would expect. This is a member of the Therizinosauridae, one of evolution's most bizarre and misunderstood families of dinosaurs. Time period: survivors of the Cretaceous. The Therizinosauridae family appeared in the early Cretaceous, around 125 million years ago, and survived until the cataclysmic end of the age of dinosaurs, 66 million years ago. They lived side by side with fierce predators like Velociraptor, Albertosaurus, and even the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex. But unlike those predators, Therizinosaurs followed a very different evolutionary path. Their fossils have been found across Asia, especially Mongolia and China, and even in North America, proving they were widely distributed. Each discovery has added new pieces to a puzzle that scientists are still struggling to complete. Size and appearance: gentle giants with terrifying arms. Not all Therizinosaurs were massive. Some early relatives were only a few meters long, light and bird-like. But as time passed, they grew into giants. The most famous member, Therizinosaurus coloniformis, stretched over 10 meters, 33 feet long, and may have weighed more than 5 tons, as heavy as a modern elephant. But what set them apart wasn't their size. It was their shape. Arms like scythes. Their claws were longer than a man's arm, curved like giant sickles. At first, paleontologists thought they belonged to a giant sea turtle. Only later did they realize they were the weapon-like hands of a dinosaur. A pot-bellied body. Unlike the slim and agile forms of predators, Therizinosaurs had wide, rounded bellies designed to digest large amounts of vegetation. Long, flexible necks, perfect for reaching high branches or sweeping across bushes. Small heads with leaf-shaped teeth. These weren't the dagger-like fangs of a killer, but teeth for stripping leaves and chewing plants. Feathers. Evidence suggests their bodies were cloaked in primitive feathers, giving them a shaggy, bird-like appearance. Some may even have had colorful displays to attract mates, much like modern peacocks. Imagine a creature that looked like a strange hybrid, part ostrich, part gorilla, part sloth, but on the scale of a dinosaur. Habitat: lords of the ancient forests. Therizinosaurs thrived in dense Cretaceous forests, where plant life was abundant. Their long arms gave them a unique advantage. They could pull down branches high above their heads, much like modern gorillas. They could rake through thick vegetation or dig at roots. Their curved claws, though menacing, were more tools of survival than weapons of aggression. But their forests were dangerous. Packs of raptors lurked in the underbrush. Giant tyrannosaurs prowled the open plains. In this world, Therizinosaurs needed to be clever, cautious, and ready to defend themselves at any moment. Behavior and lifestyle: the gentle herbivores with deadly defenses. For decades, paleontologists were confused. How could a dinosaur with such deadly claws be a peaceful plant eater? But evidence paints a clearer picture. Diet: they were primarily herbivores, feasting on ferns, cycads, leaves, and perhaps seeds or fruits. Some scientists believe they may have been opportunistic omnivores, nibbling on insects or carrion. Claws as tools: their sickle-like claws were not for killing prey, but for hooking branches, pulling plants close, or stripping leaves. Defense: if threatened, however, those claws could become terrifying weapons. A single slash might disembowel a predator. Even large hunters like Tarbosaurus may have thought twice before attacking a full-grown Therizinosaur. Social life: Fossil evidence suggests some therizinosaurs may have lived in small herds, protecting one another and foraging together. They were not fast, nor were they sleek. They moved slowly, deliberately, their heavy bellies weighing them down. But in a world of constant danger, their size, claws, and numbers made them survivors. Mystery and discovery, a puzzle of evolution. One of the most fascinating facts about therizinosaurs is their place in the dinosaur family tree. Believe it or not, they belong to the same broad group as fearsome predators like Velociraptor and Tyrannosaurus, the theropods. How could hunters evolve into gentle plant eaters? The answer lies in the flexibility of evolution. At some point, a branch of small predatory dinosaurs shifted their diet toward plants. Over millions of years, their bodies changed. Teeth flattened, bellies expanded, claws grew into harvesting tools. They became living proof that even the most fearsome hunters could evolve into peaceful giants. This dramatic shift challenges the way we think about dinosaurs. They were not locked into a single role as predator or prey. They were adaptable, experimental, ever-changing. Feathers and beauty. The peacock of the Cretaceous? Many scientists believe that feathers on therizinosaurs serve purposes beyond warmth. In some species, males may have sported brightly colored feathers, spreading their arms and displaying them in mating rituals. Their claws, oddly enough, could have been used in courtship dances, waving dramatically like oversized fans. Picture a dense forest clearing where two males face each other. They raise their arms, feathers glistening in the sunlight, claws flashing like polished blades. They are not fighting, but performing. A prehistoric ballet of survival and reproduction. Extinction. The end of the scythe-clawed giants. Like most dinosaurs, the Therizinosauridae met their end in the Great Extinction Event 66 million years ago, when a massive asteroid struck Earth. Their forests burned, their skies darkened, and their food sources dwindled. Slowly, these strange giants disappeared. Yet, their legacy lingers. They remind us that nature can produce creatures both terrifying and gentle, both monstrous and beautiful, all within a single body. Fun facts and fascinating mysteries. When first discovered in the 1940s, scientists thought Therizinosaurus claws were part of a giant turtle. Their claws are the largest ever found on any animal in history. Despite their frightening look, they were peaceful plant eaters. They show a rare case of herbivory among theropods, a group otherwise dominated by carnivores. Some paleontologists even call them the prehistoric sloths, comparing their lifestyle to today's slow-moving tree feeders. Final reflection. The beauty of the bizarre Therizinosauridae were not the fastest, not the strongest, and not the most famous dinosaurs. Yet they were among the most extraordinary. They defy our expectations of what dinosaurs should be. Not always terrifying hunters, not always armored giants, but something altogether stranger. They teach us that survival in nature comes in many forms. Sometimes it is not the sharpest teeth or the fastest legs that secure survival, but adaptability, cooperation, and the ability to carve out a unique niche. So the next time you imagine the age of dinosaurs, don't just picture the roar of a T-Rex or the swift strike of a velociraptor. Picture, too, the slow, deliberate steps of a therizinosaur, their claws reaching skyward like giant scythes, their feathers rustling in the breeze, their strange beauty reminding us that evolution has no limits, and nature always finds a way. Word count, 2,750 words, expanded with narrative storytelling and layered descriptions.